This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Being masculine means standing up and not complaining. Standing up, that means standing up for what you believe in, standing up to someone coming against you, standing up and saying, you know what, I gotta get a job, standing up and saying, I'm gonna solve this problem, standing up and say, you know what, I'm gonna be a man to this woman and not complaining. That's the difference. See, one thing with masculinity, it comes down to activity. You're gonna do something. Not just what you say, not just what you're talking about. See, when I see grown ass men complaining, I got a real issue with it. Okay, because you know, I've said this 1,000 times, I'm gonna say it 1,000 times more. That's one of the reasons I don't get on like a lot of panels and stuff. Because I don't want to be complaining about women, about anything. Only way I can really get on some panels is, yeah, we'll talk about what's going on, but then here is the solution. Or at least we're going to talk about solutions. Yeah, we can talk about the problems. Ain't no shame in talking about the issues and saying that. You're complaining though when you're not doing something about it. See, that's the important thing. That's the important thing. That's what you got to do as a man. You got to stand up and say, I'm going to take care of this business. I'm going to handle this. I'm going to change something, you know? And it don't matter what your size is, what your stature is, whatever. You know, I was just thinking about my step grandfather, who, may he rest in peace. But I remember there were some boys, we were living at this house. It was in Northwest DC. Some boys, they were sitting on the front. There's like in front of the house, there was like a stone wall. There's a bunch of boys out there. My step-grandfather didn't give a fuck. And he was a little guy. He had a kill to his record from serving in the Pacific during World War II. I didn't know that at the time. But he went up and told these guys to leave. They just left. He didn't care. And like I said, he got a kill. He got at least one kill on his record. You know, during the war. But he stood up for what he believed in, always did. You know, may rest in peace. You know, that's what it means. Like in your neighborhood, like I talked about the story, when I was living in Edgewood, Maryland. I had a little house there. Some guys were coming across the backyard. I caught one of them. Now this guy bigger than me. I'm out there nothing on but shorts, literally. No shoes, no socks, no shirt on. I went out there with nothing on but shorts and told him. I was like, nah, you gotta stop. You gotta turn back around and then let the guys in the neighborhood know not to come through here. Tell them there's a crazy man living there. But stood up because that was protecting not so much the property, but my family. You know, you gotta stand up. That's how much you gotta do. It's like when I hear men complaining, like like you complaining about women. Like you get a lot of men, they're gonna complain, oh, these women this, these women that. Okay, what you doing about it? Because that's my whole program. Y'all knows even in episodes, a few episodes, I might say the women doing this and that. What else do I say? Well, this is how you deal with them. You know? You stand up, you be on your mission. Shoot, I tell you how to attract them, and I say you gotta develop your social skills, how to deal with that issue. Any guys having that issue, they not listening to me. I'm saying, okay, this is how you attract them. Then you gotta talk to them. And then I talk about sexual dynamics on my Patreon. But you still going to do something. You still have to do something. You can't just stick and just say, well, I ain't gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be whatever. Please. That don't work for me. That don't work for me. You know, a lot of guys, you got all these videos and guys saying, well, how can I be more masculine and stuff? Okay, are you taking action? That's it, really. That's it. You're gonna take action. You're gonna solve stuff. You know, it's women sit around and talk about stuff, and that's their nature. That's their nature. And you notice, I know some guys have noticed, like their woman might be saying something, and the guy trying to solve the problem, and he's like, well, I just want to talk about it. It was like, okay, you let them talk, but you look them in the eye and say, well, no, if you're going to talk about something around me like that, I'm going to tell you how to solve it, because you know how we are. At least real men, they're going to be like, well, just do this and that. And they don't care if the women mad about it, because that's our nature. Any woman, any real woman should want that. No woman should complain about it. We the ones go out. 3 o'clock in the morning, that sound, that woman don't have to be like nudging her husband to go see it, go find it. He probably already downstairs looking around. And if she do have to nudge him or she feel like it, she don't need to be with him. Some women find that out the hard way. Like I would say to any women listening, if you got some guy and he don't go to handle a business or he don't say something, he don't assert himself, you don't need to be with him. You don't need to be with him. I don't care if he come on here complain, I'm gonna block him. I'll just be real with you. Any men who rolling with me, you gotta be the type of men who gonna do something. You gonna do something. You got a problem, you gonna fix it. You got a problem within, you gonna fix it. You see something in your environment, you gonna fix it. Let me talk about that environment thing. One thing with a man is we have an environment. It starts with about roughly 3 feet within us. That's why we don't like men to come too close to us. Other people to come too close to us. Even women. A woman, they cross boundaries without thinking about it, but they still need a man's permission. But we protect within our boundary. That's why we can be funny. Somebody walking across our yard or something. You get some men, they've killed for that. I was like, okay, yeah, that was jacked up, but can understand like he didn't want that guy on his boundary. That's the thing. And then when you get a group of men, they create a bigger boundary. That's the history of the world right there. But here's the thing. They did something. They saw a problem. Now, you might not agree with their solution. And usually when there's two groups of men and stuff, they ain't going to agree with each other's solution. But that's just a man's nature. They ain't going to sit around and talk about it. They're going to say, okay, this is what I need to do. Shoot, you got some so-called leaders out there. That's all they doing in my eyes is just complaining. That's all they doing. It's like, okay, what you doing about this situation? You complaining, but what are you doing about it? I never forget this woman I was talking with. She was Hispanic. And I never forget, we were complaining about problems in the community. I'll say it straight up. Complaining. And I never forget what she said to me, right? She said, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And I was like, and she said it in such a way, I was like, okay, I got my plans. And I'm working on that now. Like everything happening now, like when I talk with men now, it's not even just about the women. On this channel, but on my deep thought, it's about thinking. On my money channel, it's about making some money out here because you got to do it. But then even on weekends, what is Sovereign Saturday is about a man becoming sovereign. And when I mean sovereign, having some control over his life. All of these things are important. All these things are important. It's my way of trying to solve what I see as a problem. It's my way. And I've had a lot of young men hit me up and say, you know what, you helped me out. Yeah, I'm thinking this way. I'm doing this and everything. So that's important. That's important, right? So anyway, I want y'all to really think about what I just shared with you, all right? And y'all have a great day. Well, yeah, I might talk with y'all later. Y'all know me, be getting in the car. Anyway, but have a great weekend anyway. I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.